Welcome to Krishnastips. Explore Lord Shri Krishna's divine teachings in the Bhagavad Gita, a timeless wisdom for humanity.
Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Chapter 5. Karma Sanyasa Yoga, the Yoga of Action, Knowledge and Renunciation. Arjuna said, O Krishna, you applaud Sankhya Yoga, the Yoga of knowledge with renunciation of actions, and then praise Karma Yoga, the Yoga of action with devotion. Please tell me conclusively which of the two is more beneficial for me. Sri Bhagavan said, the Yoga of knowledge with renunciation of actions and the Yoga of action with devotion both lead to supreme bliss. Of the two, however, the Yoga of action with devotion is superior to the Yoga of knowledge with renunciation of actions. The person who always practices renunciation, who neither hates nor desires, is free from all dualities. O Arjuna, O Mahabaho, the mighty armed one, should be considered certainly easily liberated from bondage. It is the ignorant, not the wise learned seers, who say that Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga lead to divergent results. For, one who is firmly established in either, gets the fruit of both which is the same, that is, God realization. The supreme state which is reached by the Sankhya Yogi is also attained by the Karma Yogi. Therefore, he alone who sees Sankhya Yoga and Karma Yoga as identical, sees in reality. Without Karma Yoga, however, Sankhya Yoga, that is, the Yoga of knowledge with renunciation of actions, is difficult to accomplish. O Arjuna, O Mahabaho, the mighty armed one, but the seer adept in Karma Yoga, who keeps his mind fixed on God, reaches the supreme quickly. The Karma Yogi, who have fully conquered their mind and conquered the senses as well, have pure heart and intellect, and who see the soul, God, of all souls in every living being, never get entangled, even though performing actions of all kinds. The seer devoted in Karma Yoga always believes that he does not do anything, including seeing, hearing, touching, smelling, eating, moving, sleeping, breathing, talking, giving up, accepting, opening or closing of the eyes. He's convinced that it's the senses and the sense objects alone that are moving among their objects. He who dedicates all his actions to God, giving up on all attachment, remains untouched by sin, similar to the lotus leaf that remains untouched by water. The Karma Yogis give up on any attachment, without the feeling of mind in respect of them, while performing all actions with their senses, mind, intellect and body, which are simply for the sake of self-purification. United in consciousness with God, the Karma Yogi attains everlasting peace in the form of God realization by offering the fruit of all actions to God. Whereas, the one who works with a selfish motive, being attached to the fruit of actions through desire, becomes entangled. The ones who are self-controlled and detached, such beings reside happily in the city of 9 gates, that is, the body, free from thoughts that they are the doers or the cause of anything. God creates neither the sense of doership nor the actions of the people, nor the fruits of actions, but all this is enacted in connection with one's nature. The omnipresent God does not involve himself in the virtuous acts or sins of anyone. Because of the knowledge being covered by ignorance, the beings constantly continue to get deluded. However, for those whose ignorance has been destroyed by the divine knowledge of God, for them the wisdom shining like the sun reveals the supreme. Those whose intellect is directed towards God, whose heart, mind and intellect are wholly merged in him, whose faith remains constantly established in God, and those who strive for God as the supreme goal and refuge, their sins being wiped away by the light of knowledge, they reach the state from where there is no return. With the eyes of divine knowledge, the learned view all with equal vision, whether it be a humble learned brahmana, a cow, an elephant, a dog and an outcast. In this very life the creation is conquered by them, whose mind is situated in equanimity. With flawless qualities like those of God, therefore they are seated in the absolute truth. With a firm intellect established in God and a firm understanding of divine knowledge, with a steady intellect that is not moved by delusion, they neither rejoice in getting something pleasant nor get disturbed on experiencing the unpleasant. That knower of Brahma is situated in Brahma. Those who are unattached to sense objects and external sense pleasures realize divine bliss in the self. Being united with God through yoga, they experience eternal unending happiness. The pleasures which are born of sense contacts are verily only a source of suffering, though appearing as enjoyable to those engrossed in worldly pleasures. They have a beginning and an end, don't last forever, O son of Kunti. It is for this reason that a wise man does not take delight in them. He alone, who is able to withstand, in this very life before leaving this body, the forces of desire and anger, is a yogi, and he alone is happy. He who is happy within the self, enjoys within the self, as well as, is illumined by the inner light, certainly is a yogi and is united with the Lord, and attains liberation from the material existence. Those holy persons achieve liberation from material existence, attaining Brahma, who is all peace, whose sins have been purged, whose doubts have been dispelled by knowledge, whose disciplined mind is firmly established in God, and who are devoted to the welfare of all living beings. The saintly persons, those who are liberated from desires and anger, those self-realized persons who have subdued their mind from every side, who have spiritual liberation from material existence, eternal peace, is present all round of those who are self-realized. Shutting out all thoughts of external enjoyment, with the gaze fixed on the space between the eyebrows, regulating equally the flow of the incoming and outgoing breath in the nostrils, and so controlling the senses, mind, and intellect, the wise man who becomes free from desire and fear, always lives liberated. Having realized me as the enjoyer of all sacrifices and austerities, of all the worlds, the Supreme Lord and the selfless friend of all the living beings, having realized me, Lord Shri Krishna, my devotee attains peace. Hari Om Tat Sat. Hence completes the chapter 5, Karma Sanyasa Yoga, the yoga of action, knowledge and renunciation, in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita.